Chaos up in here with these puppies, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really is.
I wonder if someone's going to call the SPCA because these dogs are about to get a lot of second-hand smoke. Eh?
Maybe they'll calm down.
They have an optional exit, it's okay.
It's optional. It's consensual.
Optional.
The dog signed the app. The dog signed the app, man. Folks, welcome to the Hotbox Show, and as always, we'll be talking
Lang
Dank. Guys, happy quarter to Friday.
Happy quarter to Friday.
As always, this is about to be the highlight of my week. I hope it's one of the highlights of yours, and all of yours back home there. Guys, it's time to get grilled and talk some shit.
We might have a little bit of chaos, just so you are aware that we are also puppy sitting several hounds tonight.
Hound dogs.
Actual puppy hounds. So we do have fun and games going on in the studio tonight.
It is a doggy sitcom, but I don't feel like getting in the way of this happiness. So,
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Just watch the camera.
so guys, this evening's poll is going to be: have you ever been grilled to the max? The options are day, sometimes, or not yet. We'll be talking a little bit in Lang Dank about what we're smoking and our swag that we're wearing this week. And then our guest this weekend is Angela to give us the down low on Namibia. It always feels like SA's 10th province, but honestly, it feels like so far away. We're going to get down on that. Just in case, we might get load shed at 8, guys. So we are going to take a bit of a break just before 8. And if Cyril doesn't turn off the lights, we'll come straight back at 8, eh? We promise. It might be a 2-parter tonight. And then, if we get lucky, we'll do a shittle little growing with my buds and an Insta your gram.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe. Let's get
Tap
grilled.
that bell for notifications. Okay, guys, where are we going to start tonight? Is we going to start on... What are we... Yes.
On the
Let's
bank
do
man.
it.
You know, I've been extremely high once, and it was actually here on the Hotbox show.
Really?
Yeah, the very first time I sat on the couch there, I just got way incredibly too high. And couldn't even talk. And couldn't
Okay,
even see
dog
straight.
control.
Yo. They're gonna
Why?
pull
Making
cables
too much
out
noise.
here.
Okay.
Guys, we're just gonna call an intermission to the puppies here. Can someone set them free outside? Come, guys.
Get out.
Come. Let's go be free outside.
Get out.
It's gone to the dogs.
There we go.
Oh, man.
What was it? Did we time that one?
What can I say? It's a happy space. It's
It
one
is
of the
a very
Earth's
happy
chakras.
space.
It's the Earth's 420th chakra.
Puppies are good for your soul.
They make you feel
Look,
young.
So what
good
we
for your
taking
sound
They
tonight?
bite your nose.
Yo, Dan's rolling a joint there for us.
No, let's see what you're smoking. I'll just get the right light there.
Mm.
Is that better?
Thank you.
That one
That
now.
looks kiff.
Mix is best, but it doesn't matter.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, that looks
We've
lovely.
been gifted a bud of this, which again, we don't know what it's called.
Frosty though.
This frosty fucking weed.
That really
Damn.
is.
I'll get closer for some reason. So yeah, this looks like some seriously dank, frosty fucking buds.
And the smell it.
Have a sniff there. What else have we got? We don't have much on the table tonight. Eh? We've got
Smells
some
quite fruity,
remnants of
that's
some
nice.
dabs, but you know, the beauty about having even remnants like this, there's still at least 10, 15 hits left on this paper.
Or 20 of my
Even
size.
or 20, exactly.
Yeah.
You can get as much off of this and there's like nothing there.
Because you literally use a dab.
A dab,
Mm,
it's
that's what
very,
it's
very,
called.
very little bit. So that's very
Sometimes
easily
it's a bit too much.
well concealable as well. You can hide that very easily.
Yeah.
And then you can see what's inside there. Both sides. So that's a bit of
Yum.
dab.
Yum.
And
We've also got a kiff rolling tray.
I was just trying to show this. Look at that. Look at this cool thing. So we got this.
Local, eh?
It's a local rolling tray that has got magnets on it, so you can take it apart and then
Oh, cool.
close it.
That's very cool.
Oh,
That
that
won't
is
fall
awesome.
apart.
And you check what it's called.
Hotbox.
Yay!
I think we should get our logo put here.
We should.
Yeah.
And then you can open it up and you can put like that. Show you there's just like that, eh? And then inside there's even a grinder.
Oh, wow.
Look at that little mini grinder.
Plastic.
Lekker.
No,
No.
Oh, metal.
anodized aluminium probably or something like that. Nice
That is
little
very,
mini
very
grinder
cool.
for your area there. You got your joint holder. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like
Check that doesn't fall off.
And it looks like it could fit in a decent pocket, in your dash, in your bag. It's a nice travel size. Because most rolling trays are like double the size, bro.
Yeah.
You can't fit a king size in there, can you?
In the top you can.
You can.
Yeah.
Check.
Okay.
And a banky, bro.
Here we go. It fits all the things.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Put that in your bag
And yeah.
and go fishing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not fishing.
No, it's not
it's
fishing.
physician.
Position.
Yeah.
And you just crack it open, and there's your bud, and there's your paper, and there's your grinder, and then you can roll your joints, and you can stick them inside here with your.
So you could use
tool.
that for a dab tub as well.
You could use that for a dab tub. Have
You
a
probably
small,
could, hey?
Put a
Yeah.
if you could find a small glass dish, stick it inside here, and you can use your.
Or one of
nectar
those little
collector.
dab mats. Are they too big?
Yes.
Yeah,
though?
man. Well,
You
you
could
could
cut
you
it
could
down.
cut one down easily and just slip it inside there,
Yeah.
other side, and then.
The possibilities. Maybe these oaks do need a dabby one.
Yeah,
eh?
but that one will fit in there.
No, they won't. I mean,
Just a
it'll
little-
fit. Maybe it'll fit in that spot, but it won't close.
It wants
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
silicone tub in there, a little
There
3
you
mil
go, how's
silicone.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
So then, if you
Yo, folks.
Sick.
What you start doing now is inappropriate. That thing's not supposed to go in that hole there.
But us cannabis people are generally more open-minded, Buzz.
But you can put your code on it. It's a lacquer thing, guys. So if you like them, go check them out. I got them at the Heiko. I quite like them. For a local thing, it's kiff. But the real highlight of the table tonight is courtesy of Amy from Wild One Grazing.
Yes.
Yes.
That
We got
bloody
some
box there.
dope shit.
Hidden underneath
Brought
that,
some
nice.
Yes. I think maybe bring that.
Ador, do you want to take the
Closer.
camera that side there? Go around that way, there we go.
Let Amy or
I'll roll a joint while we are all
Yeah.
going
So what's
to
the deal
see
here,
what's
Amy?
inside the box.
It's called the.
This,
This is called the Hotbox snack
the
box.
Hotbox snack box.
Hotbox snack box for all you hot boxes that want a snack while checking out the hot box.
So my little company does meter table, grazing tables traditionally, but with COVID we now do gourmet picnic boxes. So I've decided to do a hot box one. So there's a little bit of everything.
Because we always have a snacks on the table for Hotbox. And we thought to ourselves, ooh, because I got into trouble. I forgot to bring fruit for a while. And Dan was like, Joe, where's the fruit? So I called Amy and I was like, Amy, we need a Hotbox snack box that's healthy and sweets.
Because we
And
can't keep eating these
So
all the time.
There's,
It's not
there's
healthy.
cookies here as well, and fudge.
And
So
Cook
you
then-
have-
Sisters.
And Cook Sisters, yes. So it's like,
and then that's a labna. It's a Lebanese like cream cheese or like cheese, soft cheese with apple ginger kind of preserve on top.
That looks
Wow.
amazing. I can't wait to get in there. Let me smoke a
Wait,
lot,
are these
like a
the
lot.
cookies that won best cookie in Josie?
Yes, well I'm on the best cookie list. in
The
Joburg.
best cookie list in Josie.
Burger,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we're in a treat. I'm gonna have one of those first.
no, they are
So
great.
there's a chocolate chip peanut butter.
Chocolate chip peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I eat like 5 a day because there's always something else.
Oh my god. That is good.
This is munchy heaven. You're right.
Like, congratulations.
Wow.
So guys, if you want to get a Hotbox snack box for yourself, you can go to
Wild One Grazing on Instagram or Facebook, and you can send me a message on both. I've got that WhatsApp button thing. Yeah, we're
highly
on the
recommended.
website.
I mean,
Nigel,
if this
Nigel
was-
Connell says he's drooling.
No.
Yes.
If this was going to be a shitterlit, this would definitely be an as fuck on the lit side.
Yeah.
Hey,
So, I'm gonna eat this, and you're all gonna watch me eat this.
Jeez.
Hey?
We're
Gonna
all
go
just gonna be
Loki.
staring at this thing the whole night.
For Old Trav there, I'm gonna go Loki, Randy, Santal.
You're gonna make a hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a big hole now. Let's make big holes, and then we get invested in that thing.
I agree. I wonder if we're gonna be able to finish it in the next 40 minutes.
Challenge set. Okay. Give me Rizzler.
So guys, please remember, like, share, subscribe. This week's poll is, have you ever been grilled to the max? Day? Sometimes, not yet. Dan, have you been grilled to the max?
Have I? Yes.
Been grilled to the
I've
max?
totally been.
So you think you've hit your limit? You think that you'll never get higher than you've been before?
Higher than high.
I've tried, eh?
Mm.
I've tried to get fucking high as possible, but I think the highest I've ever been is when I've eaten edibles.
Yeah, me too.
Edibles. That's the most high I've ever been because it just knocks me. I mean, like, we can smoke
Oil.
dabs all day, all night until the sun comes up, but there's a limit that you sort of hit because it's there when you ingest. Sure, I don't know if I've hit my limit. No, I don't think I've ever hit my limit.
So potentially a not yet, eh?
Well, I feel like I can eat more and more and more, but it's just, it's quite.
Maybe there's not a limit. No, there must be a
there
limit.
must be a limit. It's when you start greening out.
No.
Well,
I think
I
you'll
know-
pass out before anything.
I my memory immediately swings back to one of the highest that I've been, which was I'd been busy with oil in the morning before we had to rush off to go and work at a D-Day, one of the Carfax D-Days.
Mm-hmm.
And I had
Yo.
a teaspoon with some oil on, and I just stirred it into my coffee, and I drank my coffee. And halfway to D-Day, I realized I was fucked. Oh,
Saving
fuck.
yourself
At
that
least
day.
we were getting there like an hour or two early, so I had chance found some CBD. But
Would you say you stirred it into your coffee
into
again?
my coffee? Yeah.
So again, the highest, yeah, you have something in common. It's consuming it,
Yeah.
not smoking
Not
it.
smoking.
But even when you say that, I one day was also had some oil, or it was an edible, it was something that I'd had, and I went about my morning, and I was fucking stoned, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But I didn't know that I was stoned because I usually would smoke a joint, or I'd ingest a bong. I'd have a bong or something that I know, cool, I'm gonna get grilled. I'd eaten something which I knew it was going to get me grilled, but it fucking worked so damn well. I had to smoke a joint just to make it clear in my head that I was stoned. I was like, fucking, I'm so fucking
The thing is, it sneaks up on you, and as soon as you change your focus to something different, you realise. Or you speak to somebody who's straight.
Or you go to a shop or something.
Yeah,
and
and
you're
then suddenly it's like...
Or you're just like, so like, you're just driving, you're just staring, driving next thing, you're like, why am I so fucking like
Why
chilled?
am I just staring? I should be focusing a bit more.
Why do I keep turning the car off and on?
But it's not something to do every day.
Nah.
I don't think it's you don't need to do it every single day. Get as grilled as you possibly can.
Look, on edibles, maybe you'd be incredibly healthy, physically wise, but yeah, probably not the best for your mental health to be that fucked every day.
Well, you just build your tolerance up so high that it just becomes unenjoyable. Then you just have to keep smoking it so much in order to even feel grilled.
Yeah.
Just to
What kind of
sustain.
tolerance break would you need from that?
I'm not saying tolerance break. You can't break. You break enough when you go to sleep, but when you
Stop with the high splits.
you don't need to smoke massive joints all day.
Maybe it's that
You don't have to smoke like joints with kiff and rosin and everything inside them all day. We would like to, but it just doesn't work.
rosin.
Because then you know when the day that you smoke a joint without anything, which is a normal joint, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
Alright.
I want more, and then you're like a fiend because then it's
a Dagga fiend. But like you're also saying, a tolerance break is a nice thing, but also maybe it's that age-old adage that too much of a good thing, you know? Maybe it's the moderation that makes it so nice. Because like 4 or 5 episodes ago, we spoke about that study where people that smoked really strong weed and people that smoked just strong-ish weed felt as high.
It was the terpenes. We were discussing the terpenes.
The
and
terps
things.
and that too, but it was like, you know... It's like defining the whole high thing, because also if you get too high, you can't even appreciate the high anymore.
Exactly.
So it doesn't feel like a high.
Like no, like now I've been smoking a lot of dabs, so my tolerance is quite high. But the only way for me to get real high is when I smoke like a quality outdoor. It's only like this harsh sun-grown outdoor that makes me real goofed.
and then that there is like a totally aged, degraded trichrome. So your trichromes are probably like red, dark red. They've oxidized. They really have matured beyond the high THC. They've now changed over, and you obviously then enjoy that heavy couch lock, like
I do, yeah.
knock you the fuck out
So
type
it's like
weed. People they're like it's
mythology.
totally like
I
put
do
you
so-
out.
but
That's
again,
why
all the
swaz and a
time,
lot of the
yeah.
outdoor stuff that you
body.
get is generally going to
Yes.
do that because in the field they're going to push the plant for as big as colas, you know, the
No,
best
always
plant. They will, and
gold
then that
on the plant.
always
Yeah.
passes your prime of
Okay.
THC level of its peak. And if you catch it early, people should cut a little bit early, to get it perfect, the highest THC possible, and then you don't get that couch lock. You're gonna then have the head, the very rushy, busy high.
I like the couch lock.
Yeah, fuck.
I don't
It's
think
great
I
to
like
have
it.
a couch at the end of the
It's
day.
appropriate
Yeah,
at
exactly.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
damn appropriate.
Not in the morning on a
bedtime.
on like a middle of summer.
No.
Fucking middle
No,
of summer,
maybe they
smoking,
do.
You've got a
smoking
busy
fucking
day,
indica in the
you know.
morning. You're gonna sit like this in your car while you're driving. You're like, oh my god, I need to sleep.
Aircon. So before we put Amy on the spot and ask her, Dan and Joe, is there anyone we should be saying hi to there on the chat?
So on Facebook, we've got Earl Lewis, Jesse Daniels, Jock Havinger, excuse
Havinger.
They're busy chatting about it. Yeah, Jesse says that's not grilled, that's spaced out. After the max, you go sober, says Jock.
Yeah.
But being spaced out totally in a quiet place can be like a form of meditation on its
Yes,
own.
same as
Yeah.
shrooms.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the thing when you eat it,
Exactly, it is
your
psychedelic,
liver
right?
takes it through another process, and it's a very psychedelic
Yeah.
substance that you can
Yeah.
create. So I mean, audio hallucinations very possible, visual hallucinations
And
very
your
possible.
heart rate fucking flies up. I took 1,000
Sweats.
milligrams in cookies,
Your
and
That's
yes,
why the drops my blood
man,
pressure.
oh man,
Yeah.
that like I've eaten a bit and a bit and a bit and a bit and it got to it. We made 500 milligram cookies and we chowed 2 of them straight up, and wow.
on
Trust me, 10 minutes later, your heart rate is flying. You are not feeling like you want to go and socialize and be all cool. You actually just want to chill the fuck out and not be around people because it is very intense. It is
It can be
intense. You can
intense.
have. I mean,
You
can
can
handle
feel
it.
vulnerable. You feel exposed.
You just have to remind yourself that it's just weed. Then you're
Yeah.
fine, but you're like,
Do you know sometimes when I take an edible, and also my highest experiences have been with edibles. You also know when baby Voldemort was all like for crump and still vulnerable, hey? And you could have just stuck him with the knife and it would have been game over. Hey? I feel like for crump the baby Voldemort is so vulnerable, hey?
yeah, we've got
What does Dark
Ross
Lord say?
Ross Warren Yellowman,
Whereas,
Gerber Gardner, Shaw, Sean Alexandra, Dark Lord. What is Dark? He says something here.
the Dark Lord, we were just discussing you and
Flintstone and friends.
He ate two, Dark Lord ate 2 muffins, woke up 20 hours later,
Yep.
still baked as fuck.
Yep.
There we go.
3 days in a row.
That's it. Dusty Gross, good evening. Nigel
Yeah,
Connell, how's it
edibles
going?
is
What
same
are they
as
saying here?
last week,
Ingestion is amazing high.
Insane.
Cookies should be compulsory in old age centres instead of those horrible meds that they forced on my poor late mom who was suffering from chronic Alzheimer's.
yes,
There we go.
yes.
Russ Warren says 3 dabs in a red man bong and then I'm high. Tolerance issues. Yeah, there we go. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, isn't it the same with anything? Oaks can't just have 1 beer. They've got to cut 4 beers and couple shots and this, and then they tank
Yeah,
on their
but the
luck
beer
and they're
doesn't
ready.
take an hour to kick in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you were
tequila knocks you straight. Now, I was just saying, Kelly was also in her book, it also said her first experience with the oil was she just licked the spoon off and she was also goofed for days.
Oh yeah.
For
I know
days.
this lady that was making edibles and she's not like privy to, she doesn't smoke or do any of that. She's just a good baker. And, one thing led to another and she fucking licked her hands or didn't use gloves and next thing spaced out
Yeah.
on the couch like, yo, what happened here?
And also, you don't even quite sure.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Committed,
Well,
eh?
if it's warm oil, even if it's warm oil that it's mixed and you touches your hand, it immediately is
Yeah.
going to be absorbed. And if you're not a smoker, you can feel that.
So like
Yeah.
transdermally,
Yeah, if it's a heavy dose, it might, yeah.
Well, if you're making THC edibles where you've got, say, dabs mixed into coconut oil at a high ratio, you will definitely feel that.
Do you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to get the whole bathtub full of butter, just right for me, full of Zoll and butter. And I'll get in and I'll transdermally take it all in. I'll be in there with the snorkel.
High school teacher tunes, first batch of rusks I made. I tested 2 and went for a surf. The first wave I pulled into, I realized, I'm goofed. When you got a wave coming at you, realize that.
Hey, I'm out, yeah.
You know, sometimes you catch yourself sort of outside looking in thinking, yeah, no, fuck, eh?
But
Great idea.
water sports while grilled is another thing. That's really cool. That's really cool.
I think everything
Scuba
while
diving.
grilled is cool, man.
Yeah.
Ames, have you hit the limit yet? Have you been do you think you've been grilled to the max?
Mine's also going to be edibles, definitely. But that's why I only take it at night, or only eat them at night. If I do in the day, I just muff out and
So
when
there's
I'm on
a-
the couch.
Yeah.
There's a thing with edibles, right? It changes
For more.
in your system, in your digestive
It goes
system.
through your
So generally, your THC you smoke is like a delta 9, and as it's processed through your body, it becomes a delta 11 or something. So it's a different high.
But also, the ingestion amount, when you smoke a joint,
You waste.
you've got a joint that's whatever milligrams, you waste 50, 60, 70% actually of a joint is wasted. It's all
Isn't it
wasted.
like
Yeah.
smoking, you get like 10%
carbon,
absorption.
yes.
Orally, you
20%.
get like 20 to 30, and by a suppository, you get a 70%, but then there's little to
No,
no
no,
high
well-
because it bypasses processed by the liver and stuff.
It's more, smoking a joint is like 20% absorption. Smoking a bong or a dab is going to give you like 70% absorption. Edibles is 100%.
Yeah.
It's all inside you. Whatever your dose
your
was that
stomach.
you put inside
Yeah.
you is inside you. So whatever dose is edibles, suppository, it's inside you is 100% absorption rate.
Effective
So,
rate is a different story.
Yeah. Effective is how your body would process and break it down, or
I
maybe
guess
what
maybe
it's
that's
inside.
the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine.
So I don't think I've hit my limit yet. You know, do I get grilled every day? Hell yeah. Have I hit the red zone a couple of times? Yeah, I think so. But have I hit the limit yet? I don't think I've been
I don't
grilled to
think
the
I have.
absolute max yet. Because when I say max, I mean max, Oaks.
But what is
That's the whole point of the word max, maximum. You know, not kind of high as fuck. No, I mean like you are fucking.
Dizzy,
out.
sitting and
Tapping out.
dizzy, swinging, kind of drunk in a way.
Whatever the result may be, whatever the outcome may be, it may be different for other people. Maybe people take 2,000 milligram, 2 gram, whatever, and they run around happy. But I haven't really seen that too much.
That's somebody with a really high tolerance would be able to do
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah. I think I've hit 4th gear. Don't know if I've hit 5th gear.
Have you seen those guys that hit like 30 grams of a dab?
Dude.
They don't
Some
use
suck.
their own asses for the
But
next
those are waste.
Yeah,
They're
I
not.
agree.
They're that 30 grams. They're only having a gram.
You know what also...
Essentially, they just it just goes. But it's just like this. It's just like this big
Yeah.
smoke show fest. There's nothing really happening there.
Yeah.
No, but it's like one day there's going to be a CSI episode. And it's going to be like some oak drowned. Because when you smash that fat dab, yes, I know you exhale a lot of it, but it must be condensing physically on your lungs to a point where
All
it's
those
actually going to
dabs.
block out your ability
100%.
to
Of
breathe.
course,
Bro.
you've seen the reclaim in a bong. Do you think that doesn't work both ways?
Yeah.
There is going to be a bit that gets through those bubbles into your lungs and into your bronchi and all of that.
It's like dabmonia, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You
you get
know?
the dab cough and I've had it.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why
Smoking
smokers,
up
smokers
razors.
can't
Cough and
really
cough
get
and cough.
the thing that we shouldn't talk about because it can't cling on because there's just so much stuff in our lungs.
So much, it's so polluted,
You
it
reckon?
pulls in, it checks
Yeah.
the checks for tech, come out.
The whole time I've been
That's
saying,
amazing.
since day one I've been saying that.
No, man.
Makes sense.
Smokers don't get it so bad because it can't get a grip.
This was brought to you by Marlboro Menthols.
So Nigel Connell says 11 hydroxy THC is 5 times stronger than THC.
There we go, that's what I was saying. So the delta.
But that's a synthesized THC molecule. Is that not
Only
correct,
your liver
Nigel?
can make it.
You can only make that by man, or is that what is?
It's,
that-
only
it's
your liver
processed by
that
the heat
processes
in
it.
your gut.
No, it's the liver.
Your liver, sorry.
It goes through your liver.
So after going through the liver and this acids that you have in the product and the process that
Takes
happens,
the
it creates
THC
that.
and it makes it
But then why? What? So now you've created that, and now what? Do you just dispel it in your urine or your
yeah,
whatever?
same as
So then in your urine, if you were to drink the urine, that's got 11 dihox. No, he says no. He says no.
No, Dan, we will not drink your urine. Come on, man.
No.
No.
What is no? That's what's made in the liver.
yeah.
Yolks are getting too deep here.
And that
Me
goes
too.
through that goes through the blood-brain barrier. He's right.
So you.
THC on its own, that's why you can't overdose on it because it doesn't go through the blood-brain barrier. But this new 11-hydrox whatever made by the liver, that is passing through the blood-brain barrier.
Russ says the
It's the gateway.
Russ says the reclaim on my lungs can tar the N2 all the way to the jazz farm.
Without a doubt.
So I'm still a bit confused about this 11 hydroxy THC. So you ingest THC and it goes through your liver, and then after your liver it tunes out. That's what
Special
comes out.
process, and the liver makes that.
It's a,
And now
super
that's
psychoactive.
what 5 times stronger than
Mhm.
then your delta, then your delta 9.
than
which
THC.
is
So
your
now if it's
regular-
5 times stronger, we are ingesting 90 or whatever in a dab is 7 or in a joint 16%. And if it's 10 times stronger, we're getting 160% THC effect in our body. Then.
Maybe it's more, when
No, it's
people say
different.
stronger, maybe
Makes
it's
it-
more optimized.
Yes, it's
Makes
different.
it,
More
it's, not,
attuned.
it's not necessarily stronger.
makes a new chain.
It's different, yeah.
And that chain can go through the blood.
Because you have a delta 8 as well.
So what you're saying is our livers are low-key making dabs.
or it's close to like super dab. Psilocybin almost.
Strike chase
In a very strange way, yes.
People have a
Audio
different
hallucination
tolerance
is
between
possible.
delta 9 and 11 hydroxy. Some people will get stoned as hell from a joint but barely feel a 200 milligram edible. Oh, okay, so it's the way that it converts into your body, how you would take it. I get it. Okay, cool.
Crazy shit.
Definitely.
Oh, we like to talk science on the HotBox show.
So, guys, before we get into our Hangout guest of this week, please remember, like, share, subscribe. Check out Wild Bond Grazing on Instagram.
Do
They
it.
got the delicious, savoury and sweet, eh?
Yes, do it.
All kinds of good things.
All kinds of good things,
And
wink wink.
special request infused.
Oh, are we going out there, eh? And your Amy leapt out the closet there. So yeah, if you like things that are baked and getting baked, hit up old Ames here.
Yeah.
This week's poll is: have you ever been grilled to the max? Day? Sometimes, not yet. Guys, we are going to have a bit of a break at just before 8 to give load shedding a chance or not, and then hopefully come back after 8 if it all goes well. But This week's Hangout guest is Angela from Namibia. So we never hear much about Namibia locally, but there is an emerging activism scene there for legalization. But it's honestly one of those places we never hear a lot about. It was Myrtle who mentioned Angela, and one of the techies here mentioned that he'd also met her before. Is that correct, eh?
Yeah, met her in Cape Town at the Cannabis Expo.
Yeah.
They came through, and what an amazing group of people. But Angela, her energy is just amazing. She's strong, she's assertive, it's
A woman of weed.
a woman of weed, exactly.
Exactly.
She's a really amazing example of woman in weed.
Great. We need more.
She
Women's
doesn't
month.
take shit.
Welcome, Angela.
Hello, Angela.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
I just gotta unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can.
Yay,
How's
thank
Namibia
you
today?
guys.
All right. So,
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and the weed scene in Namibia?
Yes, I surely can. So my name's Angela, also known as Pikey Wrong Stockings to a lot of people. And so I've actually been a cannabis in Namibia for a cannabis activist. I've just made up a new name for what I am, a cannabis.
Nothing wrong.
For about probably almost 5 years now is when I started advocating for cannabis in Namibia. I first did it very underground, just kind of focusing on getting in touch with various government officials and trying to, encourage them to look at the potential. And over the years, I've just kind of become more and more vocal to try and get more support and educate the public on this plant. And so, so our cannabis scene in Namibia, I mean, there is a huge working underground cannabis economy, market, cannabis enthusiasts. Like many people are using this plant for all sorts of reasons in our country, but it is very hidden and very underground.
Does that mean that weed is crazy expensive in Namibia?
So, I mean, I don't know because I don't buy it. I'm not sure, but I can tell you what the prices that people are charging when weed is low is absolutely ridiculous. Like I know some people who are selling weed in Namibia for 450 rand, which is equivalent to, it's South African rand and Namibian dollars are the same. It's like 450 rand a gram.
oh my God. Wow.
Is it at least gas or is it shit?
It's shit.
Oh,
I mean,
no ways.
People take the piss here because we have we don't grow a lot of our own weed. There's individuals who are growing some amazing weed, but it's not a big thing. So a lot of it is coming in from our neighboring countries, it's coming from Lesotho, from Swaziland, from South Africa, from Angola. And these trucks are being stopped at the borders, with kgs and kgs full of weed. So most of it is coming in from outside. And I mean, there is, it's for me, the insanity of some of these prices is absolutely insane, and because we have so much space to grow it.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, how hard are the cops there on weed?
So this is an issue for us here, is the police brutality. We have the drug squad and the police. They are literally like just rogue. Like they never show warrants. There's always violence. There's always bribery. There's always severe police brutality. So people are really, really scared. And so obviously, that inhibits people and prevents them from like growing or for speaking out. This is also, I think, one of the reasons why we don't have so much of a cannabis community, and we see that together with the Rastafari community. the ganja users Namibia, who's also the Rastafari community here, they were doing some marches and things, and people just don't show up. You know, there's no support. There's no like, whenever we do something, even when Myrtle and Jules, bless his soul, came to Namibia, and Gareth Prince, you know, we had maybe like 10 people that came. And it was
people
like,
are scared that there's undercover police who are going to be there and see them and like take note of faces and names and put a target on their backs, and it's
exactly, and the stigma. You know, we seem to be a very, very conservative country. So the stigma of, oh, what's my community or my neighbors gonna think, you know, but everyone is using it. But no one wants to publicly admit to it. And so this is a huge problem, you know, when we're like in the advocacy work of like fighting this fight to get it legalized here or even just decriminalized. It's really because there is no public support.
Yeah, and it's hard to educate because people are too scared and intimidated to even be there to take in the information from you.
It is, yeah. You know, it's really, I kind of feel like in Namibia we're stuck in the dark ages a little bit when it comes to cannabis. You know, and I feel like almost 5 years of like really hard work of, you know, continuous advocacy, and I continuously try to do education in the media and, you know, of government officials, and it's all, you know, we've basically not so long ago, the Medicines Regulatory Board informed me that they had put CBD, which was not actually, it's very gray area here exactly what CBD is, but a lot of the shops and the pharmacies started selling it. And so they're obviously not being arrested. You know, they have it on their shelves. They're selling CBD from South Africa and from America and who knows from God where else. But they're not being targeted or arrested. So it's like, you know, only individuals. But then I was informed that CBD has now also been put into a Schedule 5 next to cannabis, like a few weeks ago, you know, alongside heroin, alongside pics.
it's ridiculous.
You know, they're, like in Schedule 4, a lesser schedule, we have like benzos and other way more addictive substances. You know, codeine, as CBD was placed into Schedule 5, codeine was made freely available to be on the shelves.
Wow. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Do you think that if the South African laws change and become something reasonable, that might help influence Namibia to sort of like catch up with the times?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what you would think. And also, you know, I have done presentations for the government officials. I've written recommendations for law reform as to why the law needs to change, you know, and essentially, I think that our politicians have their own vested interest in this. I think what they want is licensing, you know, like the nice Canadian systems coming in, you know, like in Lesotho or in Zimbabwe, paying them millions, growing and exporting, you know, and them profiting and no one else.
Yeah,
because you know, because otherwise things would have happened because the evidence is overwhelming.
It is.
You know, for this plant and for the potential, not just in terms of, you know, the fact that it's our human right, but in terms of creating industry. And actually the last minister, the previous Minister of Justice, who now is sitting in jail for corruption, he said, you know, gave like a whole why we cannot legalize cannabis in Namibia in 2018 or 19. But meanwhile, him and the cohorts of ministers who were all arrested for corruption had acquired themselves licensing in Lesotho to grow cannabis, you know? So this is what I mean, like our, you know, our government has vested interests.
I'm going to say there's no hidden or any backdoor government grows happening with international investors there yet.
Well, so in 2015, a license was issued to an Australian mining company that had a pharmaceutical subsidiary that was called Errrr Resources, and they received a license. And there is a lot of talk. Like, this is the thing, you know, people are scared to. I know of a few licenses that have been issued, and I also have some proof of that, but I need to be out of the country to be releasing that, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so,
of course.
but there is a lot of talk of that, you know, and also because, you know, in the cannabis advocacy activism work, you know, there's a lot of international connections, you know, and where Namibia is being mentioned, you know, in terms of licensing. So it's kind of like fighting Goliath in this battle here. It really is, because it seems no matter how we approach the government, we're just not, you know, moving forward. We seem to be going backwards actually.
Yeah. It must be so frustrating.
It is. It really is. You know, it's like all this hard work that's being put in, and also, you know, the fact that it's a very lonely battle. You know, it seems like in South Africa there's big cannabis communities, you know, and the same in other places, and people stand together, and there's, you know, a lot more activists, you know, and there's a lot more input. And here this is just not the case, you know, like the cannabis community is not very supportive, you know, even when
They
people
were
get
scared, you know, even in South Africa in the beginning, there was a lot of trepidation on people, like, coming out of the closet, and the most vocal support really only came, honestly, after September 18th, 2018.
Yes.
When
Everything
people
changed.
didn't feel like they
Wow.
were going to be targeted.
A
I
lot of
mean,
people.
getting our petition signatures has been a mission because we have to have an ID number. I mean, after how many years? We're on 36,000 signatures.
So close to
Out of
40,000.
how many millions of stoners in our
All we just
country?
needed one signature and they won't use
It's
it against
fear.
you.
It's the fear.
Exactly.
The government uses the fear of bullying us and kidnapping us and assaulting us and putting us in jail. I mean, we were
exactly,
speaking
you
before
know.
we started, and you said you feel like you maybe need to move yourself to somewhere safe so that you can actually vocalize with the government without having someone bashing down your door.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, because I've had that before, and luckily the universe protected me, and I wasn't at home, you know, but I've had various threats of arrest. And I just, you know, I'm a mother also. So for me, that's like, you know, I have to do this from a safer
Yes.
distance.
As a mom,
Yeah,
I hear
it's-
you and I feel you on that.
It's crazy times, you know. For me, I'm so mind blown, you know. For example, with this whole thing that happened when codeine was released back onto our shelves, that you can buy it without prescription. I mean, I'm like, who the fuck makes these laws? You know, when the evidence is so clear about
People
a
who are
plant
addicted
that-
to actual drugs.
Yes, and we have such high addiction rates in Namibia of this drug of codeine, you know, and there's no social support, you know. Rehabs are insanely expensive.
Addiction is
or
treated
they're
as
like-
a criminal issue, not a health issue.
It is a health issue, you know, and the fact that we are still like, this is what I mean, you know, our government has vested interest because they know what the potential of this plant is, you know, and we see this when our ministers are going to get licenses in other countries,
Exactly.
but then tell us that we can't legalize it for our people's benefits.
It's madness.
No, because only they can make money. Not everybody can make money.
But money aside, it's
Yeah.
the human right of it all.
Yeah, it's the human rights abuses because they're abusing your human right to grow a plant and to use it as a God-given medicine, you know?
To use it for whatever
Whatever you
reason.
want, yes.
Yeah.
Is there a Namibian
Yeah.
land race?
So there is one guy that I know who does work with the Namibian land race, and I've been, you know, over the last few years, I've been trying to speak to the communities, you know, like the different local communities here to try and find, you know, because I think it used to be very widespread. You know, there's so much. Once you start talking to the elders here, you know, they have this history with the plant, and they know the recipes that you make the tea, and they've used it. You know, and I mean, even like our first people here, the sand. You know, it's part of their spiritual plants. So there is. We do have a landrace here. I'm not sure how widespread it is. Or how preserved it is at this point. I do know of one guy who has made somewhat of an effort to preserve it and is growing it, but I think it might be a hybrid as well. But that's something, you know, that I would, for me, this is also why I'm trying to draw more attention, you know, to Namibia and the cannabis scene here, because, you know, we have so much like land here, and we have so much sunshine. And if we could start to focus on these kind of things, you know, like preserving the landrace, looking at, do we have one, you know, like really delving into the history. But it's currently, you know, like, it's like I'm doing this all alone, and it's just way too much to try and take on. So if anyone watching this wants to get involved, please.
So how can people get involved? Where do they find out more about you or support what you are doing down there?
So I mean, I'm basically doing everything from my personal social media, which is pikey wrong stockings, or in the newspapers, because so I've set up an association with a group of people, you know, like-minded people who are passionate about cannabis, you know, and have also, you know, have worked with this plant. And so we've been trying to get this registered, but even just the name cannabis in Namibia is then becoming an issue, you know, to get anything registered. So we're at this hurdle now where we're trying to set up a website. So there's an official website, etc. But like the bureaucracy and all of these things, like this is what I mean, we're stuck in the dark ages here. But so for now, people can just get in touch with me on pikey wrong stockings on Instagram or Facebook. And yeah, follow the work there, get in touch, see how and if they want to support.
Yeah.
Great.
Wonderful. And then can I leave you with our question of the evening? Have you ever
Yes.
been grilled to the maximum?
I have like, so I'm someone who, I smoked cannabis for many, many years. I actually used to, and I don't think I've ever shared this on a social platform, but it's the Hotbox Show. You know, it's the Hotbox Show. So, well, I lived many years in India where I smoked a lot of good charas, and then I used to actually swallow hash from Morocco and take it to England.
Oh wow!
And I used to love smoking hash, and then I started working in California in the cannabis industry like 10 years ago. Well, no, I worked there for 10 years. This was probably like 15 years ago already. And I remember the first time I was there, like smoking Californian, you know, weed, bong after bong, and then having an edible, and I thought I was going to die, literally. For 6 months. I was hanging with my head out of a caravan and just literally on a cannabis farm and thinking, that's it, I'm going to die. So many times I'm super sensitive. Yeah, every time that I do, and because I don't really use cannabis anymore, you know, I just use it as a preventative for my migraines and for fibromyalgia. But whenever I do make edibles and I have to test them, I always, at first everything's funny, haha, and then it like blows my mind. So yeah,
What
I
a
have
story.
many.
Angela, thank you very much for joining us. It was wonderful to get an insight into Namibia. It always
Yeah.
feels
Very
like South Africa's a strange 10th province in a way. But it's good to hear that there's something happening, and it would be nice to see the culture come out of the closet.
And we always have
Yeah.
your back.
Thank you so much, guys. It was really nice to be on here.
Good to have
Yeah.
It was a privilege for us to have you.
Yeah. We'll have to send you your t-shirt in the mail.
I've been building up my collection.
We'll figure
I have-
something out. So, guys, we'll put a link to Angela's email in the description or something like that. Please remember, like, share, subscribe. Go vote in this week's poll.
Have you been grilled to the max?
To the
The
max.
max.
Yes. Okay.
And you guys?
Cool.
Great.
Cheers, Angela.
Have
Thank
you
you.
been grilled to
Angela.
the max, Buzz?
Me?
Bye.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
think there's a little room left.
You think you could do a bit more, eh?
I think there's a little room
Not,
left.
not,
I've
in,
got.
not in any of these
No?
sessions that we've had inside the Hotbox to even get there.
No.
Not
hey.
a chance, eh?
No, maybe like once after the Hotbox, we'd eaten a bunch of mystery edibles, and they'd given me the edibles before the show as well. So I chowed the edibles, made my way through the show, clawed my way through. I don't even remember how. Got home, probably chowed another one because they were so tasty. And my will did go low frequency. Wow, wow. And I knew in that moment that this is the sort of shit that will fuck you up. But if you let
The base
go,
was starting to hit.
if you let go and you committed, there was a bit more room.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
to know, good to
So,
know.
not yet. I try Errrr day, but not yet. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Are we going to give it a little bit more before load shedding potentially strikes, guys?
8 minutes.
Yeah,
Cool,
that's it.
we've got a couple
8
minutes.
minutes.
We got
Okay.
8 minutes.
So let's do some updates about Fields of Green for all then. We've got the GoFundMe going down. Cannabis can help South Africa. There's a lot of content on the Fields of Green site, but I think the GoFundMe is where it's really at. Hey, you know, guys, Jules stood tall. Hey, these people have put their lives on hold effectively for a lot of people. And while everyone's racing with CBD and drinks and this and that and that, there are them and other people, of course, that are breaking this ice that everyone's following in. And I think this is really that time again. I say I'm coming, I'm washing the window, I'm squishing with the Sprite bottle. Psh, psh, you know, make a
What about the cup
donation,
on the end of a
Oaks.
stick?
We're so close. We're so close. We're closer than we are further with all of this.
Yeah.
That this is that push where we can now make a difference. We've been cha-cha-ra. We've been vocal. We've made content. We've been around the globe and
And we're
back
not going to
again.
stop doing it
Yeah,
anyway.
we've shaken a lot of all yours hands. Go spend a $50 a month at Fields of Green. Go buy a shirt. Go buy an info pack. Whatever. But the GoFundMe could
The
really
GoFundMe
use
is-
your help.
The thing with the GoFundMe is that for every euro, and we're doing it via euro for a very specific reason, but for every euro that gets donated, up to 10,000 euro will be matched by Jaya Veleman.
Every euro.
Yes, up to
Up to
10,000
Yeah.
euros. So if we get 10,000 euro, that means
Every
we've
1
got
euro.
20,000 euro. Because Jaya is
Crap,
going to match
guys.
up to 10,000. Dudes, look how close we are.
Guys, if you donate, oh my word, if you donate
Hey?
1,000 rand, that's
That's Dab Stars.
Dab-
That's Jaya. That's
That's
all.
Dab
phenomenal.
Big time. That's Dad Stars and big shout
And
out
you know,
to
I've
Jaya.
even seen Jaya's son has made a personal donation into there.
Yeah, guys, we're all even standing tall. Even us
Yeah.
here, we're making an effort. We're putting a buck in. We're putting We're putting our money where our fucking mouths is. And I hate to do it. I hate it because I sound like one of those preacher oaks now. Just buy the king size rolling paper to solve all your problems. No, we're not saying that shit.
Yeah.
Just we're so close, guys. South Africa really is at the cusp. Everyone's got lax after the ruling. And if we miss the train,
Yeah,
it's done gonna be a fuck up.
it is big time, big time. Because this is covering so much stuff.
So
I mean,
much, so many good things.
preserving
Really
Jules's dream,
essential.
his vision, getting restarted with the trial of the plant to make sure that we've got proper, fair human rights and evidence-based
it's
regulations.
not over. We're still fighting.
Which I would
Yeah.
say.
It's not over.
No plant counting and no cops. The
I wonder
cops
if
need to
other-
be removed. I'm going to say it every week until they start listening. The cops need to be removed completely from plants. If they're going to come to my house and count my ganja, then they also have to. I'm going to make them fucking count my lettuce, my tomatoes, and my dandelions.
Also on page Fields of Green. And?
Pine cones.
And
Pine
pine
cones.
cones.
So also,
Pine cones.
also this week on Fields of Green, they announced the survey. This is something that Myrtle and them have been talking about for a long time. It's a big ass survey, and they want to get the down and dirty on the data because everyone's starting to make these decisions. We're hearing about this bill, we're hearing about that, we're hearing about that, but there's no local information.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, come, we're inviting you, participate. Let's find out about the consumers, the producers. Let's get that information.
Yeah. So that we
Safely
can
and
make
anonymously.
factual
Surveys
based-
are anonymous. You can do it.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
shy.
Really
Come on,
great
guys.
survey.
Put your.
I think it's
put your
anonymous,
data
that we're
in
not.
there. I think it
You can
is.
put your details in if you want. I filled it in already,
Yeah.
and from what I can remember, I have a short-term memory of a guppy at the moment, but I don't. It was optional to put in your details if you wanted to have follow-up. I obviously put my stuff in because I trust the people. I know the people. It's been put together by an independent a company that doing surveys is what they do.
I think they're called social surveys.
Social
Good
surveys.
people.
Social surveys.
That's it. And this is the biggest cannabis survey in Africa so far, ever.
So spread the survey. Let's get every single person that even doesn't smoke to fill it out.
How long would it take to fill in?
It's not a shit
Oh man, it's
survey
like
either.
4 or
It's
5 minutes.
Oh, minutes. I was
not
going to say
bad.
we should do it now, but we don't have enough time.
Oh, look how quick it is. Optional. See, what is your name? Optional. They're just trying to get like how many in, which area doing what, your
Yeah.
opinions on.
Yeah, let's see how far we get there. They're just trying to gather data.
Non-conforming. Wow.
What race? Why? Oh, God, with these.
Well, they want to they need to get data. This is how you get data. You got to ask these things. Which following describes your work status? Other.
That's it.
That's it.
Ganja farmer.
Baba. How much?
Yo.
What? Monthly?
Don't look anyone. Everyone.
Yeah, don't look at this one. No one can look at this
Close
one.
your eyes. Go fill it in, bro.
Well-
Fill it in. Same.
Oh,
All
man.
of it.
All of it.
Yo, I with
COVID.
the C word. No.
Oh.
Damn. We're never gonna get monetized now. Fucking rubbish.
Okay. In lieu of us never being able to be monetized, please don't forget to throw €1 or 2 at the GoFundMe.
Yes, please.
And also remember to go check out the link for Fields of Greens
Per
affiliates.
year. Are they... Per year. Well, they must get those numbers. You know how this needs to be done, though? We need to take this out on a tablet.
It's
And
about
someone needs to go out into the rural areas and visit every single ganja grower in the rural
Yeah.
area
And ask
and
him.
ask them just to fill it out with them.
Exactly.
Who's willing to do that? Get on a bike and travel the fucking...
I would imagine the CDCSA has the means to do
Yes,
that.
they should possibly be able to do that.
CDCSA guys, check
Hit
it
us
out,
up,
man.
Communicate.
Get your members and all of your prospective farmers that you are going to put into your model to fill this out.
All of the above is what this oak needed. Select all. So as you guys can see, it's very straightforward, hey? It's not like rocket science
Yeah,
questions.
it's easy questions, easy to understand.
No mathematics. So guys, have we got enough time there to save the copy, or is Escom gonna get us, Oaks?
11 minutes.
And counting.
So I would just want to take a quick thing because the last 2 weeks I have become way too grilled by the time we reach the part of the show where we discuss our new affiliates. This week I made a note, I wrote it down.
And you remember to take the book out.
I remembered to bring the book. So I've mentioned
Analog.
Dank Connections and I remembered to mention cannabisoilresearch.com. I think I might have nailed Cure last week, but Cure is definitely one of our new affiliates. The Voodoo Shop, the Green Affiliate, Jesse, and then one of the newest new ones is called The Dutch. I haven't had a chance to chat with them yet. Marlene has taken over running our affiliates for now. Until
The Cure dude.
There's so many C words that we can't say. Really. This is ridiculous.
yeah,
We're off our own. Oh shit, you said the
the word.
CD.
Uh,
Well, Hein says hi all the way from Abu Dhabi.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
How's it going, Hein?
yeah, that's
hi.
cool.
Bye.
Hi.
What's it saying?
Yo, no,
Okay,
dude.
so like literally that's
I think that's as far as we're gonna get.
yeah.
So guys, that's as far as we're gonna get on this situation before we give out this Oaks PI. Oaks, get ready to open bank accounts in this Oaks name. But guys, please like,
So easy,
share,
easy peasy, do
subscribe.
it.
Should we take a look at this week's poll already? We kind of have to, eh?
We kind of have to if we're going to close it off for now, and then, or we can. Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, so guys, this week's poll was: have you ever been grilled to the max? Day? Sometimes, not yet. Load shedding's probably going to clap us in the next couple of minutes, so we're going to tune out soon. If it doesn't, yo, Bruce.
Oh.
Dale's been playing too much Hot Knife in the background here with these things, and now they cut.
Here's another Peter Swart. I'm from Namibia. Yeah, the police suck here.
Yo.
He's also from there, watching the show. Aware.
Guys, everyone in Namibia support Angela and what they're doing.
So the poll is so far. I don't know which one this is for.
Facebook.
This is for Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Ever been grilled to the max? Every day, 28%. Sometimes 50%. Not yet 22%.
Yo, hey?
Ah.
So the votes are 9, 16, 7.
It's good
So,
to
yeah.
do it sometimes.
Sometimes. We
Sometimes.
can't be grilled
all the time.
dorm every day. Come on,
Yeah,
that's like an
no.
irresponsible stoner. Totally, like that is just really being a puss.
And,
Sorry, it's disgusting.
and also because you're building up a tolerance, you build up such a high tolerance by chasing it every day, chasing
Well,
Puff, the magic dragon, every day, is that it's the world's slowest lobotomy as well.
Yeah.
well, who's
Yeah,
smoking
pretty
who
much.
at that point, bro? Are you
Who's
smoking?
smoking?
Are you smoking a bong or is the bong smoking?
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Bruh.
Have some control.
Yo, maybe the bongs are in control all along. I always maintain this plant's farming us.
But hey, sometimes someone might be needing to to chase that dragon because they need it for medical purposes. Yes, that's a different story. But I think otherwise, if you're just a recreational user,
Yeah. And if you guys would like to try and chase that dragon with us again in 10 minutes, if ESCOM
Yeah.
doesn't deny us,
check up on
we'll
us.
go there with you. But please also go support those who support legalization.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who put their money where their mouth is. Go check them out in the Fields of Green for all link. Seeds, grow stuff, consultants, support industries, all kinds of stuff you didn't even realize you needed.
Yeah.
People who you will just say, shut up and take my money to. Go
Everything
check
you
them out.
never knew you
And
always
Wild One boxes.
Get a,
Wild one
get a-
graze
Wild
it.
One boxes, Hot
Get a
Box
box.
snack boxes.
I got my Tupperware ready, watch.
That box is the business. Seriously, get
Yeah, you
it.
guys need to eat a little.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
be
eat
like
more
an
now.
auntie at the buffet.
During our break, sure piece.
Yeah. But if we don't come back, then please stay safe and choose happy.
Grow your own.
But we'll
Stay
see just
lit.
now.
Wow.